All right, everyone, 1 second. We have a go. Good evening, everyone. God bless. Pine Grove News Live, 6 o'clock on the dot. And yes, let me turn off this darn music. Well, I hope everyone's doing okay. Needless to say, it's hot here, man. It's hot. 88 degrees again. It was a very nice day, the majority of it, but it just got hot. Yeah, hold on. Just checking to see who. So, anyways, yeah, it's hot today, and it's going to be what, 65 tomorrow? Yeah, that's what they said. It's going to be mostly cloudy, 65 inland, or something like that, 65 degrees. 88 today. More than 20 something degrees difference. This is probably, it did happen once before this year. Extreme temperature changes like that. It's happening in California too, according to Will Watchman. According to him, it's just, many nights now are cold. I mean, everyone's talking about frost warnings already. I mean, heck, it's mid-September. Shouldn't have any of that. So, you know what day it is today. It's the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks or implosions of the World Trade Centers. I hope you can hear me because I do have the fan going again. I turned up the volume. So with that, I mean, there might be an article or two in here about 9/11. I wanted to, every time it comes up, I just want to talk about it. But I'm not going to really talk about it. It's been talked about. You had the new files out for Building 7 last week. It's not going to get anything done. It's not going to do anything, is it? I mean, 18 years after, people should be in jail. That's how they passed the Homeland, Patriot Act, Homeland Security, all that stuff. Well, you get locked up in a dark hole somewhere and they don't have to tell you anything. They don't have to tell you if you're being charged, why they've locked you in that hole, and they can just leave you there. That's what basically those two put together do, Patriot Act. It was supposed to be for, different agencies like the CIA and the FBI and NSA, all to be able to share, intelligence and get these people, and don't always have to follow the same rules when it comes to something being labeled terrorism. Now they're talking about people who talk about conspiracy theories as terrorism. So be careful. They're just setting this up so they can come and get you and put you in a dark hole. I mean, what's his name? I don't watch him anymore. I don't even see him out there anymore. I know he's still having problems or whatever. I can't remember his name. Yeah, big, remember he went to the Bohemian Grove and took live pictures supposedly. That's how he got his fame. Grew his channel, and then Time Warner bought him, and then that was it. Then he was getting kicked off platforms, and I think he's doing radio or trying to do radio somewhere. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's working. So anyways, yeah, 9/11. Very unfortunate that, over 3,000 people, innocent people, supposedly died in the, it should be more. I mean, Building 7 came down. You had people all along the streets that were, the first responders. that were killed, all those people in the offices. Then you can go and include some of the ones that just weren't there that day for some reason, and all the other things that we could talk about. But I am a very patriotic person, and it literally tears at me when these people can get away with this crap. Yeah. They shut down the FAA or FAA. Just you can shut down the skies, except for one plane, let them fly back to Saudi Arabia. Let's not look over there. Well, there's somebody filing suit against them anyway for that. There'll be hush money paid to them. It better not be hush money. I'm telling you, if there's hush money, what am I going to do? Gotta pray. It's the only thing I can do. It's the only thing I know that works. Praying. It does work. Should have all kinds of testimonies on that. All right, just wonder where to start today. I guess we'll go with some weather. And what's really hinky about this weather, I'll let you see that in a second. This from Fox 35, I guess we'll start. Oh no, let me go put this up first now that I remember that it's Fox 35. We'll put up our fair use allowed for the use of news reporting and teaching. And we'll go back to this article titled Tropical Storm Humberto could form, may move near the Bahamas in Florida. It could form. Remember, it could form. It may move near the Bahamas. Of course, it could form. First of all, the thing I wanted to point out here, this is why I was doing this. I look at AccuWeather. I look at this thing right here. This is what I look at. AccuWeather. Under severe weather, go to hurricanes. I mean, when we had Dorian out there, it showed all the tropical storms, it signified them or labeled them with a yellow X. Okay, with a yellow X. Even the thunderstorms. I put it on the news. I know I did. Okay, so even if there was one over here off the coast of Africa, just forming, they would put a yellow X there. Well, I just want you to see. Okay, hold on. Let's zoom back out. There's nothing anywhere. Nothing. And up here on this list, there is nothing here. Atlantic, East Pacific, South Pacific, West Pacific, Indian Ocean. Well, I haven't checked the Indian Ocean. But there's nothing. Not yet. But now, okay, got to figure out something. But, so where is the storm? I mean, I guess I could go to DuPage. I wonder if that'll work for me. But anyway, let's go here. Let's go back to this one because I went close somewhere. Zero it in. Oh, let's go back to AccuWeather and select radar. Okay. So it did show up on radar. Okay, let's bring this down here. Okay, so there is something here with radar. Come on, get out of there. And when you zoom in, let's see if I can. When you zoom in, where do I have that? It was a lot bigger than this. Oh, let's go to satellite. So you've seen it on radar. Dagnabbit. Yeah, I'm not used to doing these things live. So let's go back down here. Get out of there and look at the Bahamas. So you got this stuff, you know, regular thunderstorms, okay, going on around the Bahamas. But if you go to satellite map, okay, now look at it. Watch. Better come up and do it. Yeah. See what we got on satellite? You understand what I'm trying to get? What I'm trying to show you? This stuff is not on radar, but it is on satellite view. I don't know what they're doing. And here you go, down here. Okay? Just north of Haiti, to the east of Cuba. You got this huge tropical storm down there. I mean, it's huge. It's as big as Haiti itself. And let's see if I can play. Let's see. Can I play this? Get it moving to see if it's forming. Yeah, it just looks all kinds of. It looks like it's going in another direction. There's no formation, no spin rotation to it at all. Just a big thunderstorm, huge. So I don't know if they're planning on doing something. We'll find out. Just wanted you to be aware that it's not on radar. I could go to the two page, like I said, and check their. Of course, I don't know if Cuba or Haiti has that Doppler radar. Florida would not show it because it's too far out. It might show something like this, the edge. But anyway, just wanted you to know something may be in the works. Something may be, maybe they're starting another one up. I do not know. All I know is that on the regular radar, on the, severe weather maps, there's no hurricanes whatsoever, no tropical storms. None of that is listed. Right now, it is all quiet after a very busy week. So, come on. So, I mean, there you have it. Just letting you know. So we'll just go on and talk about some other weather stuff, I guess. More like, eco problems. We've talked about this before. This is from the week. This southern pole heating up, but this is maybe something else before we get to that. Yeah, the heating up is, right here. And now I guess there's a sudden stratospheric warming. This is what we talked about probably a week. I don't know if it was that long ago, but anyways, this event above the South Pole to above the South Pole to go down as the strongest on record. Well, we know that we're breaking records for almost everything, weather related anyway. And, earthquakes, volcanoes going off. I mean, heck. And of course, you all know about the warnings. I hope you've seen the video that I put out last week from A Midnight Cry. There is part 2 out there. Thank you, Laura, for that. I am not going to play it 43 minutes long, but I will leave it in the link for anyone else who wants to listen to it. I've listened to it already. He repeats a lot of the stuff already, and I'll just leave the link. Oh. Yeah, that kind of threw me off there for a second. So hold on. Entire countries have already warmed beyond the climate critical 2 degrees Celsius threshold. I guess that's what scientists were talking about with this global warming propaganda stuff. I mean, someday you can, pretty much agree that it's global warming. And another day you can pretty much agree that it's a lot colder than it should be. So which is it? I would think that that guy, remember that guy? I guess he was a senator or something like that, when he came out and said 500 days until climate chaos. I think we're there. That one I would say is correct. Definitely climate chaos. Whether the Lord's bringing it or whether man by the Lord, whoever, it's just happening. That weather chaos has been here for a few years, and it's increasing just like labor pains, just like, a woman in travail, like the Lord told us to watch for. They will get, they will come more frequently and with more pain involved. Yeah. You don't think, I don't know, people, if you don't understand that the whole world flooding, okay? Basically, the whole world in different parts of it, not all at one time, okay? Because he's already done that. And of course, we didn't make it in that one. No, he's flooding it, like he said in Jasher. Well, I don't know if he said it, but Jasher said it. 1/3 of the world was destroyed back then because of the iniquity. He's just showing you all over again. If you can't take a hint and know that it's God that's doing it, you should be able to realize, because every country, every nation, they all have the flood story. So if you're not going to believe, that God created the flood, at least you have to agree that the flood was here, because every nation has, books, transcripts, writings on it. And aren't you at least bit curious as to why everything is flooding? Do you really have to have a flood on top of your head in order to understand? I hope not. I hope you wake up way before that. Yeah, there's only one way out of all this. Yeah, simply to repent. So anyway, I'm leaving the story here. 2 degrees Celsius. We seem to have reached that brink already, but I wanted to show you this too. This is from the Washington Post, the tweet that shows, let's see, Post analysis of multiple temperature data sets found roughly 1/10 of the globe has already warmed by more than 2 degrees Celsius. 1/10 of the globe? Heck, I thought it was everywhere. If it's only 1/10, what are we worried about? Anyways, the video is a lot more shocking than the 1/10, description. So here we go. It's only a couple seconds. And it reads off from, obviously, well, let's do it again. Get to the beginning. What was it, 1905 or something like that? To 2018. I'm sorry, that looks more than 1/10 to me. That might even be, a quarter, maybe a third. A third. Thing about that third is I hear a third a lot. Let's see, in Jasher, let's see, I had it up here a minute. Well, besides the flood. Gil-Bazar says that a third will be third of the earth. The Bible says a third of the earth, will have, Gil-Bazar says what? He says that the firestorm, the meteors, balls of ice being pushed ahead of Planet X Nibiru will be 1/3 of the planet. And he says, I don't know how it got that, and he can't predict the time that it's arriving. Or maybe that has already arrived, that they're just covering it up. But you know what I'm saying? It may have already arrived. God may be using that to, change the weather. He could use anything you want. He's made everything. Everything that you see or can't see, even the things you can't see, he made everything. You're going to tell me somebody else made it? When you show me who made it. I know who made it. What was that? Yeah, so 130. Gil Bizard has all that data. You can reach him at Facebook at that name, Gil Bizard. I think it's Brossard. He will have all the data for you. He will show you that North America and parts of South America will be the ones that will be hit with all this debris. Yeah. And even all those people moving to the Ozarks, okay, they will not be safe. That's what I've heard. That's in the data from Gil Bizarre. And it's been pretty much, except for the arrival, and a lot of people think that it's already here and that it came. But in any case, a lot of people, what do you call it, corroborate it, you know. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, things are just off, way off. Sudden stratospheric warming. Now, yeah, and they're talking about the polar vortex 60 years ago. You want to go read about that? Go read about it. Just letting you know that's what it is. That's out there. Sudden stratospheric warming. And we've heard it at least a week ago. And this is from the Watchers. This also, tornado destroys up to 20,000 maple trees in Quebec. Loss of revenue equivalent to 60 to 100 years. Yeah, that's how long it'll take to grow those trees back. 20,000 maple trees with one tornado in Canada. Where was it? So between, see, maple trees that were snapped by a powerful tornado that pulled through the town of St. Rosie de Watford in the Chaudière Appalachians region, Quebec. Oh, that happened quite a while ago, too. I got to start checking these stories every time I don't check them. Anyway, I mean, that just shows you what these things, these storms, hurricanes, these tornadoes even that are rare in many places showing up. I mean, World Watchman will tell you, what was it? Was it Friday? When we were on our regular conversation that we have in the afternoon, I actually had the Weather Service issue a tornado warning for our area. I believe it was Friday. Yeah, and this is Wednesday. Hump Yeah, so, well, you know, he'll verify that if you need verification. But yeah, we do not have normally tornadoes here. I might have already told you about it on Monday, but yeah. And of course, I didn't see where there was any tornado touchdowns here in this area. Somebody said that there was one in Coventry, but none of those, it can't be verified. So look at that swath of trees. I mean, we're talking about everything, you know, Amazon, Africa, trees are burning up. It's bad enough that they're putting stuff in the oxygen in our air. And I don't know, man, somewhere along the line, I mean, isn't the Amazon, didn't they say 20% of our oxygen that we need? What happens when you add, you know, Canada, Siberia, Russia, Alaska, Africa, I think I said Africa already. There are other places that are burning too, even along the East Coast. Go look at your ENCE or something like that, or your fire tracker. It's crazy. One day, man, if we don't start putting these things out, and I know we can put them out, I mean, apparently we could set up our own little rainstorms right over the fire. Me and World Watchman were talking about that the other day too. It's just crazy. It's just, that's not their agenda. I mean, if you can't see that that's not their agenda, or else they could do it. Just put a storm over the fire and, let the fire, the storm put it out. That's all they have to do. I mean, if there's a drought somewhere, say like Africa, which, never happens, right? Remember somebody giving a prophecy one year. One of his 12 prophecies for the year was Africa was going to be in a drought. There will be a drought in Africa. How ridiculous is that? Of course there is. There always is. Some people, I mean, they just, don't see these things. I thank the Lord that he's showing me, man, because I really don't want to be around where there isn't truth. So, man, yeah, why not? Why not give rain to a drought-stricken area? Why not blow up the clouds, these storms that come in over a wet area? Come on, I know we can do it. We have the technology. We've had it since just after World War I. I seen a video over the weekend or something like that, over this past week, actually, of this plane flying over a lake or an ocean, and a huge wall from where the plane was to the top of the ocean was just a smoke wall. And I know that they did that. If they could do that and then, add moisture to it, I mean, I don't know exactly how they're done. I've seen machines out in the middle of nowhere making them. I know the factories that are empty, that don't have workers in it, are producing these things as well. Go look at it yourself. Go look at these factories. Go research it, please. If you don't think that they can't do those things, I mean, Trump, he tells the news quite a lot. Yeah, if Iran keeps giving us trouble, this country or that country, we're going to hit them with stuff that we've never even used before, and you'll understand. You'll be gone. They're all going to be dead. That's what his latest threat was to the Taliban, wasn't it? Yeah, they're all dead. Attacking Americans, I mean, anyway. I try not to be part of this world. Unfortunately, I love this country and the patriotic. I think I'm patriotic when I say that. If somebody's going to attack your country, it's just like attacking my family. You're going to protect your family. Yes, you are. I mean, the Lord also told his disciples to, get themselves weapons, protect themselves. He wasn't worried about himself. They were going to come after them. In any case, what a wacky, wacky world. And it's just about money, and you don't count whatsoever according to, these people. Not all of them were born into money. Some actually had to earn it. I mean, come on, can they seriously just forget where they came from? How they made that money? I mean, yeah, other ones just think that the rest of us, that they were just born, or what do you call it, cloned, and, the rest of us are just fodder, deplorables, as Hillary Clinton would say. Whatever. Large late night tornado. I believe this might be the same one. No, this is South Dakota. Strong straight line winds. Remember that. Straight line winds hits Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, causing significant damage in South Dakota. I think this is one of the stories that they actually have up to date. Yeah, that was at around 2341 LT. I don't know what that is, but 2341 military hours. Laura, what's that? Is that 11:41 p.m.? Your military hours, 24-hour clock. Oh. Yep, that's what happened. Residents were asked to stay out of the roads and call 911 only in emergencies. Believe it or not, people do call 911 and they're not emergencies. You know, we're talking about damage here, and I was thinking of one story I heard about 9/11. See down here that in this tornado thing, excuse me, officials said they received numerous reports of photos of extensive damage to trees, cars, homes, and businesses around the city. And I just saw the cars, and I just had 9/11 flash in my head again. Some of the people that were being interviewed that day actually said that there were a lot of cars on fire. Now, why would the cars be on fire? It's a building fire. Even when it collapsed, there was, yeah, I guess there was a fire, but it was in the building, one they couldn't put out for a long time. But the cars on adjacent streets were all torched. I know what happened. Do you know what happened? And have the interview. This lady says that the cars were on fire. Yes, they were. Anyway, maybe I'll go back and do a reminiscent. You know, yeah, I'm not making any promises because I get in trouble that way. But I'd probably get kicked off YouTube. I should be kicked off by now, so I don't know what they're holding up. I don't know what's up with that. Not enough people yet. Doesn't bother me. I don't need hundreds and hundreds of subs. No, I don't. I don't do this for money at all. Not even. I did try and collect one time. Yeah, I made $109 one month, 6 months after I was in. Yeah, and then they started demonetizing me. And then we all know what happened. Bye-bye. So, yeah, well, here's a little, off to the side type headline here from the Daily Mail. Okay, remember, from the Daily Mail. Scientists find a super Earth with water 110 light years away in world first discovery, and say it could have all the conditions to support life. Well, that's fine, but what difference does that make? Now, that's fine for our descendants, because light years, okay? 110 light years. Do you know what a light year is? Well, I didn't know how long a light year is or how far it is, but I went and looked it up for you. So from Google, and you can get any answer you want, no matter what your agenda, at Google or at any other search engine. But anyway, it's a noun. But anyways, it says a unit of astronomical distance equivalent to the distance that light travels in 1 year, which is 9.4607 times 10 to the 12th power kilometers, nearly 6 trillion miles. That's just 1 year. 1 light year is approximately, well, they say nearly 6 trillion miles. I don't even, know what that would possibly look like, trillions of miles. I mean, how far away is the sun? Anybody know? 97 billion miles? I don't know, just taking a guess, sounds familiar. I don't know, maybe that's the moon. That's still a long way away. I mean, what's our closest star? Anyone know what our closest star, the distance in light years away that it is? Isn't it like 2 or something like that? Alpha Centauri, or no, there's something else. Anyways, I think I need a co-host. I need to talk with somebody. You're asking questions, you get no real answer. Go look. All right, so enough of that. 110 years of water. I mean, 110 light years is, 110 trillion. Actually, it's more than that. Got to be like 1,110 trillion. Anyway. Let's see, 911, breaking 911. A dozen California church leaders indicted for allegedly holding people captive and forcing them into labor. No, say it isn't so. Not more of our church leaders. There we go. Here's another one. A dozen leaders. Leaders. Yeah, right. I got other names for them, but it's not leaders. Oh, it's straight to hell. So these leaders of Imperial Valley Ministries, including the former pastor, are charged in an indictment unsealed today with subjecting dozens of mostly homeless people. Homeless people. So you wonder where they went? Maybe some churches have them doing labor in some compound somewhere. I know South Carolina don't have them because they ship them all to the border and say prison or start walking. Yeah. Forced labor, coercing them to surrender welfare benefits and compelling them to panhandle up to 9 hours a day, 6 days a week for the financial benefit of the church. So these defendants were arrested today in El Centro, San Diego, and Brownsville, Texas, and charged with conspiracy, forced labor, document servitude, and benefits fraud. Sorry, guys. They have a bigger price to pay. Yep. Eternity with their father, Satan. Yeah. Of course, we are to forgive, right? 70 times 7. That means, and only God can judge their heart in the end, right? I hope that some idiots would finally come and repent and, I'm sorry, and it's led in the wrong direction. I hope. So I told you I got one or two stories from 9/11. This one is the first one. Maybe it's the only one. Robert Mueller helped Saudi Arabia cover up 9/11 involvement lawsuit. Just so you know, I mean, this is the guy that, did that. What was it? It took a couple years, right? And then millions upon millions of dollars to research Trump's involvement with the Russians. Come to find out, when they actually subpoenaed him and talked to him, he didn't know nothing. You know why? Because he didn't do it. He had other people do it. That's why I can't remember what the heck's in the report. Can't recall. So this is what we got in there, people. This is what we got for our leaders in this world. Yeah. Anyways, cover up. Yeah. All cover up. It's all lies. Nadler accuses Trump of crimes and corruption, schedules vote for impeachment hearings. Apparently, they're going to go ahead with this one. House Judiciary Chairman Gerald Nadler announced on Monday that his committee will vote this Thursday, that's tomorrow, to officially formalize impeachment hearings against Trump. Nadler said in a statement on Monday that the crimes and corruption extend beyond what is detailed in the Mueller report. Yeah, in any case, the Mueller report was read in a Senate hearing, I believe. In any case, oh well, I mean, it's not going to stick, but they can sure try. Yeah. And I'm just bringing this one up. This is 2 years old. I mean, it was in 2016. I remember doing the news on it too. This nuclear reactor shut down in South Carolina after explosions and fire. This is one of the biggest, I think it's the second biggest or the biggest nuclear plant in America. Okay, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because remember I was saying that Florida has problems with their at least one nuclear plant. I don't know how many they have. I know they have one because it was leaking a year ago in South Carolina also, because they were putting this stuff that was leaking from it into waters because, of course, they need water. That's why they're all along water lines, because they need the water to cool the reactors. In any case, now I know why, Florida and the Carolinas. I mean, if you want to evacuate the East Coast, wouldn't some kind of, I mean, what were they doing when they told everyone to leave Florida and the Carolinas and the states between there? What was the National Guard doing there by themselves in these states? Of course, I know some stayed back, but it was a mandatory evacuation for a storm that wasn't even heading their way at the moment, at that time. I don't even think, anyways, I won't get into that. But anyway, they're leaking. So they could easily be a mark for some kind of disaster. They want to clear the coast. I know the West Coast. I don't know how they're going to clear the East Coast because that's got a lot of the population from this country around the East Coast. So, I don't know. I would just continue to look at, while we're in the season of these hurricanes, to watch how they form and where they go. And we have a lot of failing infrastructure. I think 60% of all of the nuclear reactors in this country are in some kind of dilapidated condition and or, leaking or something. What was it? Somebody mentioned that from Washington State, the underground fires that they were having up there. Lanford, or I forget the name of it. But they had some fire that was heading towards its way to mix with some kind of nuclear waste material. Remember the caves where the trains were going in, the tunnels were collapsing. And people were, working in there. And somebody said at one time that the thing reached all the way to the Ohio Valley. I don't know about that. That would have done, how quick it got to that point. But, I think I will write that down when I got it in my head. Lanford. Let's see. Nuke research. Yeah, so I don't know if you have the money, I know I bought my gas mask online. It might have been Amazon, I'm not sure. At some kind of a Russian World War II depot type thing for $12. I don't know if it's going to work, but I opened it up. It's inside clear plastic. It doesn't look like there's any, kind of rot on it. Dry rot like you normally see from a tire where it's cracked. Yeah, so I don't see that. And it's got a, canister for a chemical spill. But anyways, try to get some of that stuff when I can, but I've been a little lapsed with that lately. Should be getting the iodine and other things. I've only got 20 gallons of water saved up. 4 5-gallon pails of water with they were treated, so they'll last for a couple of years anyway. 20 gallons. You know how long 20 gallons of water is going to last you? Of course, it depends on how many people. But if if I was just, it was just me and my wife, they figured 3 gallons a day per person. But I think that's a little much. I mean, you're going to need water for cooking. You're going to need water. Of course, you won't bathe as much because you're not going to have the water. But, and anyways, I mean, yeah, you need a lot of water. That's all I can tell you. And just, when you go shopping, just try and force yourself to put 1 can away. Some people can't afford to go shopping. Some people, I don't know. If I know anybody who cannot afford to eat, let me know. I'll see what I can do. I do not like hearing people going without being able to eat. So we're almost done here, so I'll hurry up. This is from Natural News. Yes, we've heard all about the insects. Are you ready for the insect apocalypse? 5 things you need to know. Yeah. What did they tell me? Where's the 5 things? All you see at the very bottom is humans are the problem. Anyways, this is from Mike. They don't give me 5 things that are problems. Anyways, this is a staggering number here right in the very beginning. The World Wildlife Fund, the WWF, estimates that the total wildlife population on Earth has declined by a staggering 60% since 1970. It was 10 years old, 1970. Actually, no, I think it was 11. 11. 60%? Well, the Lord said he would take them away. But man. Yeah, but the humans keep growing by leaps and bounds. And there's plenty of room on this earth. I don't care what anybody says. There is not a population problem. It may be a land grab problem, maybe this elite who just freaking blew out the Bahamas because of some military base there, now is going to go grab the whole Bahamas for himself. And so instead of, 70,000 people living there, it's just going to be, security force and, be a handful of people. That's why there's a freaking shortage of land, idiots. And, and they constantly, with these fires and FEMA coming in and telling you what you can do and what you can't do. I mean, you have to pay them first before your insurance gets paid off because they went in there and told you couldn't go in there to scrape, I don't know, a couple feet of dirt off your land so that you wouldn't be able to trace the chemicals or whatever composition, was in that material. And now you got to pay them for the workers to do that. And then after you get that, you can't afford another house. So you can't build another one. So you got to sell your land. Who buys the land? Yes, BLM, FEMA, other government agencies, people. You've heard about the BLM. You heard about, forget his name. I shouldn't forget his name. I mean, I saw him murdered right on, live video. I don't think it was live. It was shortly after. Anyway, well, before they were able to manipulate it on the fly. I still don't think they can manipulate live video on the fly. Military may, but the civilian population, no, you could tell the difference. Yeah, insects, all these things. I mean, apparently 60% are on the decline. Does that mean the planet's dying? No, doesn't mean the planet's dying. It means that something's being transformed on this planet. This planet is alive. Okay, it's an ecosystem, and it's going to react in certain ways to certain conditions. You can't kill it. Man can't kill it. Sorry. You could try to ruin the earth, but you're not going to do it. You're too small and in what do you call it? Just infidels. You're just insignificant, according to compared to the mass of the planet. I mean, like I've said it before, go out to where supposedly the ISS is, look down and slowly just go down and down and down. And then, you find out how big it is when you find out there's one person there standing there. Yeah. I mean, I hope you've experienced something like that. I hope you're not afraid of heights. If you're afraid of heights, you definitely might be afraid of that. But I don't understand why you would be afraid of heights. I can understand you being afraid of falling, but afraid of heights? Anyways, watch 911. First responders take out Omar. Yeah, that was in the news today, big time in the news, about how she came up there and said that, after 9/11, because these people did something, she couldn't say Muslims, she couldn't say terrorists, she couldn't say any of that. I don't understand why this woman is still in our government. I don't understand why there's at least 3 more that should be just fired or whatever. They've shown all kinds of contempt for this country, ill will, claiming to be socialists, communists, definitely socialists. They don't like this country, at least, not the way they want it to be run. It should be run, the way they want it to, which means they're going to sit on the top tier while everyone else has to pay the price. While everyone else slaves, okay? And while the rich, all their money is taken away and brought down to where the slave level is. The rich are smart. Heck, they just get the heck out of there right away. Don't allow that to happen. You'll lose something, but this is crazy. How those people remain in the White House, in our government. Unbelievable. World Israel News. U.S. pulverizes ISIS-infested island with 80,000 pounds of munitions. Yeah, we already know, yes, U.S. can do a shock and awe for anyone to see. Yeah, okay. I mean, why they have their own little island? You should have just put up a fence instead of blowing it up. Who knows? Put up a fence to lock them in, and anyways, it costs too much. Go look at how much the bombs are. 3 terrorist rockets from Gaza strike Israel. IDF tank response. Yeah, this time no real injuries. Let's see, 3 rockets. One of the missiles struck a courtyard of a house, no injuries. Another missile was identified in an open field. Israel children were in school at the time of the attack. Their classrooms are reinforced against rockets. And 2 of the rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome missile system. Well, and they should have gotten all of them. What kind of statistic is that? I can count at least 5. They're saying they got knocked down 2. 3 hit the ground. That's 5. You only got down 2. That's less than 50%. Now that's worse than flipping a coin. Oh, I think they need an upgrade. Man, just 2 out of the 5. Oh, and this one from End Time Headlines, man. I don't know what's going on in LA. According to World Watchman, they are under judgment, I guess. Medical experts warn of possible leprosy outbreak among the homeless in Los Angeles. Not only they got to worry about, what was it, Dungai fever, bubonic plague, this rat infested fleas. What's the other one? Swine flu. And just the conditions. I mean, I've seen other stories that I'm not going to put out here, obviously. Some of these homeless people, where they have to defecate, urinate. I mean, it's not all their fault. And actually, in one place, it's actually illegal. But, people take pictures of people having to do, we all have to do those things. And you know how important it is when it needs to be done. So, in any case, it's just a sad state, that we're in, that we have all this homelessness, and it's purposeful for the elite. It's just anyways. Now, this was out a couple days ago, but I'm going to mention this killer slime that is in beaches in France. It can kill you in seconds. Fox News. France's beaches have been inundated by lethal slime, with what experts say has the potential to kill sunbathers within seconds. Fears have heightened, and 6 beaches were closed this summer in Brittany as the killer slime took over the vacation destination, The Guardian reported. It's a shame this place has come to be associated with death, said Andrea Olivio, an environmental activist who warned that large amounts of green algae on the beaches kill you in seconds. I don't know. I mean, Florida has the algae bloom. Other places have the algae bloom. Is it that dangerous everywhere? I haven't heard any reports of people dying with this algae bloom here in the United States. Has anyone else? Please send me news, people. I can't get it all. I really can't. I can only go through half of my my news feeds. Just don't have the time. I mean, I have 2 hours by the time I get home till the time I go live, and it's not enough time. Not enough time to, vet anything really. A couple things I looked into a little bit, but that's it. That's all. And that goes for an hour. Lately, it's been a little more than an hour. And here you go. Here's a 6th person who has died from vaping-related lung disease. I don't remember the 5th one. I know I reported the 4th one on Monday. Here's a 6th person. Now it's out there, and they're making laws, especially with these e-cigarettes of mainstream media. Trump is, because of this last person that died from this, vaping-related lung disease. He wants stricter whatever in place. I mean, they're going to go with the I don't know if it's the vaping or the e-cigarettes or both, and they're going to take out all the flavors because that's what the teens are smoking. They're going to want the flavors. And they're only going to be able to sell just tobacco flavored e-cigarettes and or the vaping. I think it's a terrible thing that's out there. I think they should get rid of it, period. I think they should get rid of the cigarettes too. Anyway, they made it too expensive for most people anyway here in Connecticut. Let's see. Got 2 more articles here. This one is from the week. Purdue Pharma expected to dissolve after reaching tentative opiate settlement. Yeah, $12 billion settlement, which means that they'll go and declare bankruptcy, which means they won't have to pay anything, and they'll open up another business. Let's see, down here. They'll open up another business. I think they already named it. Anyways. And so if there's any, suits, they're going to do this just like they did the Philip Morris and the cigarette industry. they're going to, pay out a settlement or two before they finally make the decision, and they've already have with these opiates, that they're going to pay so much, which is 12 billion right here, and then they're going to work some deal to where the states are the only ones that are going to be able to be sued or filed suit against, and they won't have a whole lot of money for you. They'll have programs for you to get off the medicine, but what if somebody died from it? I mean, it's not the drug company's fault, but in any case, it's just everybody's fault, actually. I think it's everybody's fault. Person, anyways, we can go into a lot of talk about that, about this opiates, about this addictive things that we consume in our bodies. And on top of that, we have addicted personalities. Personalities that are easily addicted to anything else. I can tell you some stories just with me, man. Crazy. I mean, it's a little funny, but I get into these, little, I don't know what you call them, mini periods where, like, I'll just say one time. One time the Tootsie Roll popsicles, the lollipops, Tootsie Roll lollipops. I used to, get bags of them, and particularly just one or two flavors. And I could eat about 5 of them in a night, and I would do it at least every night, probably for 5, 6 days. And I'd do that for at least 2 months, 3 months. So it's kind of like a mini type, I don't know what you call it, fetish. Of course, if you want to get really an addiction, I don't know. I definitely need help, that's for sure. Yeah, I have an addictive personality, I guess. And this last one, this is where we are. One of the things that put us where we are morally, besides the opiates and the drug industry, everything that is done to us to make sure that we have to go to the doctors and get drugs and pay the industry. People get paid. But this is where we just get lost. I mean, why the heck? I mean, first of all, this lady may have, well, almost a perfect body. She's really not that attractive. Kim Kardashian's new underwear brand, Skims, crossed millions in minutes. The brand Skims. Millions in minutes. This tells you where we are. Our minds are just in the gutter. Why do we need to buy, these Skims just because this lady, who is just an idol out there for everyone, she is just not an idol. She is just the opposite of what people should be looking for in or about to follow. Anything like that. How many times has she been married? I know it's more than once. Anyways, then we got all that junk, being put on TV and you think our kids don't see it? Of course they see it. Don't get me started with that too, because it is the parents' fault. It's always the parents' fault. I don't care how busy they think they are. Had children, whatever. It's a responsibility. Big one. Well, your parents normally should tell you about these things. Mine did. I don't think I was ever told about the birds and the bees. I think I was actually given a magazine. Anyways, crazy. Crazy times. These are different times. There are definitely different times. Nothing like I've ever seen. And it is just changing dramatically. Don't let it catch you off balance. Don't let it take you. You have a, what do you call it? You have someone to fight for you. Okay? You don't have to do it. He will do it for you. There's a lot of hope in Jesus, in God. I mean, you know, you probably, some people, a lot of people are. I mean, look at the suicide statistics. You know, they've grown so much. It's because people are losing their hope. I don't know exactly what they're hoping in, but I hope it's, you got to change the direction of your hope. There is no hope in man. Man is flawed. He is flawed. He's just got a lot of problems and goes off in different directions for no apparent reason, rhyme or reason. Okay, just, and we all sin. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. There's no hope in somebody who has who has this this tendency to just go out and sin. I mean, the closer you get to God in a personal relationship, the sinning part will be taken care of, little by little. You'll not want to sin. And when you do sin, I mean, you will feel really bad about it. With your relationship, build a relationship. First, give up the hope in man, because there is no hope in man. He is a doomed. He is doomed. I mean, Jesus came here to save us from all that, and all he asks is that you learn about him, okay? Believe in him, and man, you can even have eternal life. And all you have to do is put your hope in him. And even if you don't have hope in him, he will build it in you. He will. There's certain things, once you honestly, with your whole heart, soul, and mind, get, your idols in mankind and follow man, because they all go in wrong directions. The more money you have, it seems like the wackier their brains are. So I don't see why you would follow anyone. You are perfectly made, and you are different from everybody else. We are all completely different from everybody else. I've grown up with identical twins. They were different. I noticed the difference. You were made for something more than this. Put your hope in Jesus. Give it a shot. I guarantee you, once you turn to him, he's going to notice. He's going to be waiting for you. And you won't help. Once you grab and just seek him, he'll grab a hold of you. And after that, it's a hell of a ride. That's all I can say. And I know I said it wrong, but I'm in a good place now. In my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Good mind now. Do I still sin? Yeah, sure do. Yeah. But I am wholeheartedly regretful that I do these things, and I repent for them. And I talk to him. I talk to him just about all day long. Yep, and that relationship, he'll build a hope in you, and you'll have a foundation, and you can go on, even in this crazy, dark world that we're in. He's the light that you need. He is your light, and you can become a light. And you can have hope, because he is that hope. You just need to trust in him. That's what you need to do. All right. Sorry about that little soapbox thing. Thought I was trying to help. It's from the Holy Spirit mostly. With that, everyone, I'm already over, so God bless you all. I will be back Friday, I think. Most likely I will. Plan on going away next week. I'm on vacation as of Friday. I think I'll spend half the week home and the other half on some farm somewhere. Don't know if they're going to have internet. Probably will not. But I'll let you know. So with that, everyone, God bless. And be good. I know you all have it in you. And look out for your family. You know, be the head of the family. Be the strong one in your family. Pull them all in. Know where they all are. You never know. In a moment's notice, you may have to know where they all are. Be safe, everyone. Peace out.